Hi there, welcome to this Lightwork podcast channel. Today I'm going to talk about melanin. As you know, it's always exciting to talk about melanin and black people, particularly. And there is no truth until you decide what truth is. Your truth may not be my truth, and my truth may not be your truth. This should not inhibit our search for the truth, nor should it stop or diminish what truth is. Don't come to me for the truth. Come to me for the facts and research. Find the truth yourself. And if we both share the same truth, we will both be doing the same things together. And it is said that to get to where the ascended masters were, by ascended masters, I'm talking about Jesus, the Buddha, and Elijah, and so forth. You have to neutralize the ego, love everyone, humble yourself. And because once the ego gets on the way, the transmission to the higher self, to the gods, will stop. And love your energy, because where the power comes to you, because when the power comes to your hand, these are the very people you are going to save. That's the people around you. So you've got to love your energy. It's very important. So melanin, as I was saying, is the pigment which naturally occurs in the hair and skin, and it's formed by melanocytes. And melanocytes are melanin-producing cells. They are located at the bottom layer of the skin, the bottom layer of the eye, and the inner ear. And it is quite interesting to note that this earth was one people at the same time, and it was all black people. Melanin is the soul. Without melanin, there is no soul. It's quite important to know that. And it's a natural pigment found in the skin that gives the darkness. It's a primary determinant of skin color, and it does lots of things. It prevents aging. It blocks ultraviolet rays, electromagnetic radiation from the sun, which can accelerate the aging process. The more melanin you have, the more protection you've got from the sun exposure. And melanin, the molecules absorb radiation from the atmosphere and protects and repairs the DNA. And it is a primary dynamic in one cells of the body. It's just a primary dynamic in one cell, in one single cell in the body. And it could be termed to be also a dark matter. Because with black people, you don't have to worry about dark matter, because you are dark matter. And it's not out there in space, but it's inside of you. Nobody in the planet can replicate or duplicate melanin. They cannot break it down into components, and they cannot destroy it. It's a gift from the universe to black people. If you have it, then you have one of the supreme gifts in this galaxy, or in the universe, or the cosmos. It's been discovered that melanin replicates itself into dark matter, and it gives you a free pass without interference in this cosmos we are living in. And melanin is an active substance, and it helps with a lot of things. It helps. Bible Belt is a light code, as I can say. It's a sort of a light code. And we'll be going now to a little bit more explanation what it does really. And every early humankind living in the sun-soaked savanna plains of Africa developed a dark toned skin, rich in pigment called melanin. Within the skin cells, this melanin concentrates above the nucleus, shielding the vital DNA from radiation damage. In an environment where there is little break in the path of sunlight into the skin, this barrier is a great advantage. So there are lots of benefits of having this high concentration of melanin in the skin and other parts of the body. One of the benefits is that melanin boosts immune systems. Dark-skinned people, or humans, Africans particularly, or groups have been shown to have a lower incidence of number of serious diseases, including Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and so forth. And in continuation on these benefits of having high concentration of melanin, the dark-skinned people also age better than the white boy, as their skin is better protected from the sun damage. So the dark-skinned people, their skins are better protected from the sun damage than the white boy. The melanin molecules absorb radiation from the atmosphere and protects the genes and repairs the DNA, as I said earlier. And these are just one of the few, and I'm going to continue with the benefits of having a high concentration of melanin in the skin. It's melanin is capable, people with high concentration of melanin are capable of instantaneous reactions to energy fields without being processed by the neurological functions of the brain. So, in other words, it acts as a chlorophyll carrier. It takes energy and reacts to it. People with melanin are totally conscious. You have eyes everywhere. They are very conscious. They see everything. They are very spiritual. And by ingesting of certain kinds of food, you can allow melanin to affect certain situations like pain and so on. And people with with melanin also have the advantage of tasting food better, having a food, when you're eating, when they're preparing food, they prepare food with full flavors. This is due to the high concentration of melanin in black people. It enables black people to taste. That's why the black people they cook differently than the white boy, because of this ability to mix all kinds of flavors and taste together. In music, you can also link the melanin to music. It makes black people produce a lot of rhythmic music. It helps with channeling, talking to spirits. Also, melanin is a great factor in that. It's a key to everything you do, and the customs of traditions, worshipping of gods, and all those kind of things in the African traditions. It's all being influenced by melanin. The melanin in the body helps us to do that. Helps black people to have this rhythmic dancing, cultural festivities. It's all been driven by melanin. And this melanin is, as I can say, people with this high concentration of melanin, they see the world differently. They can see the colors clearly of everything. It's quite clear because of this concentration of melanin. And it helps your enzymes to break down the foods you eat with less energy. It's also been done through, it helps this enzyme to break the food with less energy. And examples of this is the kind of foods that Africans eat. The heavy type of foods, they have to chew a lot of hard foods that are easily digestible because of this concentration of melanin. And the only thing that's there to study in this planet is black people and melanin. Melanin is basically everything. And the idea was to keep black people confused and manipulated their melanin, keep them confused and continue to manipulate their melanin and not let them understand this power that they have in them. And this is by this means of manipulating people is how you cause people to be both functional and dysfunctional at the same time. This ability to control this melanin. And this melanin is also a very adaptive chemical. That's why the people that can endure the most cold in the planet are Eskimos. They are colored. They are not white. It's because of the melanin that has this adaptive ability. Now you what to call evolution. Evolution of free radicals, that's antioxidant. And that's just how melanin reacts to chemicals, and melanin comes in various forms. It comes in a gas form, it comes in solid form, and it comes in a liquid form. And the more melanin you have, the more psychic you are. People who have a lot of melanin, most, black people, they are wise, they are psychic, they are very psychic. This is just due to this melanin, And also, the more melanin you got, the more spiritual you will be, You see in this sub-Saharan African culture, with church going and all those kind of things, still part of being that spiritual self, which is all being driven by this melanin. And basically, the more melanin you have, the more human you are. That is how you can look at it. And you can also look at the black people, they are characterized by, you have the spirit first, and then you've got the mind, and then you've got the body. But you got the white boy. The white boy is, you have the body first, and then you got the mind, and then you got the spirit at last. So it is quite the opposite when you look at it in that way. The characteristics of the white boy and the black boy, and then the white boy and the black boy, so to say. And then you've got there was a certain project called the Montauk Project in the U.S. It was a study of black people and melanin. It was a project that was made and Americans scientists were studying how they could duplicate this melanin, and this was something that was quite publicized. The black people were killed in America and were broadcast out in space so that they could trace the melanin, because it is something that's untraceable for them. It's something that they cannot understand. They cannot decode it. They cannot manage it. So that is the Montauk Project. If you can do some research on it, was purely the black people that were killed and were sent to space, and they were broadcast in order to trace the melanin. That's how far they have been going to search this melanin in black people, because it's something that is not quite understood by the white boy. And to proceed, as I said earlier, it's just melanin is a natural pigment found in the skin, and it's a primary determinant of skin color. It prevents aging. You see, black men and the white boy, they age differently. The white boy will show signs of age. It's easily detectable in them that they age faster than the white boy, than the black boy. And as I also said earlier, this melanin blocks the race, ultraviolet rays, which accelerate the aging process. And this ultraviolet electromagnetic radiation that comes from the sun, it's what it protects. The melanin protects the helps to protect the body from damage through this electromagnetic radiation from the sun. So the more melanin you've got, the more protection you've got from sun exposure. This melanin protects the genes, it repairs your DNA. It's a primary dynamic in the cell of the body. And there are quite a lot of, I will advise a lot of people, my followers on this channel, to also do a little bit of research. And you also have to note that that this melanin is a gift from the gods. And with this, as I can say, it's a big gift from the gods. And with melanin, you can speed up your healing process into half when you are injured, when you are sick, and whatever. It also helps in that. And once you start to use this kind of energy from melanin in your body, you can speed up everything in your body, and that is, speed up the kind of energy that comes up, and then you can also tune it down. And this makes you basically a god. So thanks once more for listening, and goodbye.